Certainly, here's an expanded version of the first Keynote. A life has purpose, not just play. Written in a powerful flowing format with around 600 words and without subheadings. Live out subheading. It was never designed to be. Games are made for amusement, distraction, entertainment. But life was made for meaning. Life was made for purpose. When you begin to believe the lie that life is just a game, you start living casually. And the danger in living casually is that you end up living carelessly. You treat important moments like they're optional, and you treat people like they're temporary. You make decisions based on what feels good instead of what is right. And slowly, without even realizing it, you exchange purpose for pleasure, and that is always a losing trade. When you treat life like a game, your vision shrinks. You think in terms of wins and losses instead of right and wrong. You think of people as competitors instead of companions. You start chasing points, money, status, likes, attention, things that look like success but can't give you peace. Because you can win a game and still feel empty. You can win in the world's eyes and still be broken inside. That's why so many people look successful but feel miserable. They reached the top of a ladder that was leaning against the wrong wall. Life is sacred. You are not an accident. You didn't show up on earth just to play your part or to go through the motions. You were sent here with a reason, a purpose that is bigger than your pleasure, your comfort, or your applause. The purpose of life isn't to escape pain. It's to become someone through it. Your existence is not random. Your gifts, your experience, your struggles, none of them are wasted. They're all part of your assignment. They are tools that were given to you to shape the future, to help others, to leave a mark, to change something in this world that only you could ever change. That's why life is not just about having fun. It's about being faithful. It's not about avoiding responsibility. It's about embracing it, just to exist. You were created to impact. You were created to build, to restore, to create, to love, to serve, to become. When you understand that, you stop asking, what can I get out of life? And start asking, what was I put here to give? Because your life is not yours to waste. Your time is not yours to kill. You are holding something eternal inside of you. Something that demands expression. Something that's waiting to be birthed. And every moment you treat life like a game, you delay your purpose. You deny the world the gift of your presence, your potential, your power. Games are for escape. Life is for engagement. Games distract you from reality. Life demands that you change it. And the truth is, purpose won't let you settle. Purpose won't let you stay small. Purpose keeps calling you higher, keeps pulling you deeper, keeps waking you up in the middle of the night with dreams that are too big to ignore. So stop playing with your calling. Stop treating life like something you can turn on and off when it's convenient. You don't have that luxury. Not when people are waiting on your voice. Not when generations will be impacted by your obedience. You're not here just to be entertained. You're here to evolve. You're here to lead. You're here to fulfill a divine assignment. And once you realize that, everything changes. You walk different. Changes. You walk different. You talk different. You decide different. Because when you understand that life has passed by, you stop wasting time. Let me know if you want the next Keynote expanded too, or if you'd like this converted into a short video script or voiceover. Absolutely. Life doesn't work in simple progressions, and challenges are not there for you to simply win and forget. They're there to shape you, to teach you, to transform you. In a game, you pass a level by mastering a specific skill or completing a task. But in life, you often face the same type of challenge again and again until you learn the lesson hidden inside it. That's why some people find themselves in cycles, repeating patterns in relationships, finances, or emotional struggles. Not because they're cursed, but because they're ignoring what life is trying to teach them. Life doesn't promote you based on time served. It promotes you based on truth learned, based on truth learned. Every difficulty carries with it a revelation, a deep truth you can only discover when you're willing to stop asking why is this happening to me and start asking what is this trying to teach me. Pain is not your enemy. Discomfort is not your enemy. Avoiding them might make you feel safe, but it keeps you stuck. The truth is, growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you're always trying to escape the hard seasons, you will miss the transformation that only those seasons can bring. Challenges aren't random. They are refining. They are refining. They reveal what's real in you, your faith, your discipline, your character, your values. They strip away what's superficial and expose the raw material of your soul. But here's the hard part. Life doesn't give you a cheat code. You can't skip to the end. You can't fast forward through struggle or bypass the moments that break you. Those moments must happen because you can't develop strength without resistance. You can't develop patience without delays. You can't develop courage without fear. You can't develop courage. Challenges exist because there are deeper versions of you waiting to be activated, and those versions won't show up in comfort zones. They only rise in the fire. Too many people see problems as signs to quit, when really they're signs to grow. What you call opposition might actually be opportunity in disguise. What you think is holding you back could be the very thing that's trying to move you forward. But you have to be willing to face it, not flee from it. Life is not about avoiding pain, but becoming someone powerful through the pain. Sometimes the lesson isn't just about how to overcome, but who you become while trying. And that's the real reward. Not just getting past the hard thing, but being changed by it. Becoming wiser, becoming stronger, becoming more grounded, more compassionate, more focused. That's the kind of victory that can't be seen on a scoreboard, but is written deep into your character. This is why you can't treat challenges like levels to conquer, because once you beat a level in a game, it's over. You move on and never look back. But in life, the lesson often remains long after the challenge has passed. You carry it with you. It becomes a part of you. And sometimes that same type of challenge will return, not to defeat you, but to remind you of how far you've come. So stop seeing your struggles as proof of failure, struggles as proof of failure. Stop thinking that you're behind because things are hard. You're not behind, you're becoming. And if you pay attention, if you stay open, if you keep asking what it is trying to reveal in me, you'll find that every challenge is not a wall to stop you, but a mirror to show you who you really are. Because in the end, life's greatest tests don't just build you, they reveal you. And when you finally learn the lesson, you don't just overcome the challenge, you evolve. Ready for the fourth keynote? Next. Absolutely. Here's the expanded version of the fourth keynote. Fulfillment in a strong flowing story style with approximately 600 words and no subheadings. You weren't born to compete with people, you were born to complete your assignment. One of the most damaging lies we've absorbed from the culture around us is the idea that life is a race to be won, a stage to perform on, or a game where we need to outperform, outshine, and out-hustle everyone else. But life isn't a competition, it's a calling. And when you spend your life looking sideways at everyone else's path, you miss the power and beauty of your own. The truth is, no one else is you. No one else carries your exact purpose, your combination of talents, your unique design. And yet comparison convinces us that we need to match someone else's timeline, mirror someone else's success, or mimic someone else's gift. That mindset is not only exhausting, it's misleading. Because while you're busy chasing someone else's finish line, you're neglecting the race you were actually created to run. And there's nothing more tragic than being successful at something you were never meant to do. Competing with others causes confusion. It clouds your vision and clutters your identity. You begin to measure yourself by someone else's results rather than your own responsibility. But here's what you have to understand. Success is not about beating others. It's about being faithful to your purpose. That means the only person you should be trying to outdo is the version of you from yesterday. Your goal isn't to be better than them. It's to become more of you. That's why your real competition is not your colleague, your neighbor, or the person you follow online. Your real competition is your comfort zone. It's your doubt. It's your procrastination. It's your fear of stepping out into the unknown. It's that voice in your head that tells you you're not enough. That's the battle. And until you win that battle within, nothing outside of you will ever satisfy you. When you know your assignment, you walk with clarity. You move with conviction. You stop wasting time proving yourself to people who were never assigned to validate you. Because purpose doesn't need permission. And when you finally understand that your worth doesn't come from applause, your peace doesn't come from praise, and your identity doesn't come from outperforming others, you'll stop competing and start fulfilling. Fulfilling your assignment means being faithful in the quiet seasons. It means being obedient when nobody sees, when there's no recognition, when it feels like nothing's working. It's realizing that you're not here to impress people, You're here to impact lives. And sometimes that impact won't be loud. It won't be glamorous, but it will be real. It will be lasting. You weren't created to be a copy. You weren't created to be a version of someone else. You were created to be original. And when you lean into that originality, you stop comparing and you start creating. You stop chasing and you start chasing and you start cultivating. You start asking different questions, not the how can I be better than them, but a how can I be more faithful to what's in me. Fulfillment is deeper than fame. It's more powerful than success. It's the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you're doing exactly what you were placed here to do. So that's where joy lives. That's where peace lives. That's where real success lives. Not on scoreboard, not on the stage, but deep in your spirit. So walk in your lane, own your calling, run your calling. Run your race. You're not here to compete. You're here to fulfill. And when you stop trying to win the world's game, you'll finally start living your purpose with power, with clarity, and with freedom. Would you like to move forward with the 5th keynote next? Of course, here's the expanded version of the 5th keynote. A temporary moves, eternal impact, written in a seamless, heartfelt flow with approximately 600 words and no subheadings. Every decision you make today might seem small, but its impact can echo into eternity. That's the truth many people overlook while chasing comfort, convenience, and quick results. Life's not just about surviving the moment. It's about sowing into the future. What looks like a temporary move, a quiet yes, a painful sacrifice, a disciplined choice. Those aren't just fleeting moments, they are seeds. And every seed sown in faith, in purpose, in obedience carries a harvest that will outlive you. We are living in a culture that pushes instant gratification. Do what feels good now. Take the shortcut. Skip the process. But the danger in that mindset is you start living only for today, forgetting that your life is not just for you. Every move you make, whether in the light or in the dark, either builds or breaks something beyond what your eyes can see. You're not just choosing for today. You're shaping legacies. Choosing for today. You're setting the tone for generations that will come after you. You're creating patterns that others will follow. And that's why it matters. Every step has weight. Every decision has consequence. Every move has meaning. When you really grasp this truth, it changes how you show. You stop asking, is this easy? And start asking, is this eternal? You begin to measure your actions by impact, not by applause. You realize that some of the most powerful things you'll ever do won't get you likes or recognition, but they'll leave a mark that lasts far beyond your time here. Like loving someone when it's hard, forgiving when it hurts, staying when it would be easier to walk away, building when no one believes in you, obeying when you don't understand. Those moments seem small, but heaven sees them. Eternity records them. And purpose flows through them. Sometimes you'll be tempted to quit because you can't see the result yet. You wonder if your work is pointless, if your prayers are bouncing off the ceiling, if your sacrifice is ever going to produce fruit. But what you have to remember is this. Just because it feels invisible doesn't mean it's ineffective. Purpose takes time. Growth happens underground long before it breaks the surface. And many of the things that will matter most in your life won't be obvious in the moment. They'll only be clear in hindsight. That's why you must keep going. Keep planting the right seeds. Keep making the hard choices. Keep walking with integrity when no one's watching. Because one day you'll see that what looked like a small act of obedience carried eternal significance. What felt like a private became public freedom for someone else. What seemed like an ordinary moment was actually a turning point in a divine story. You are not just passing time. You're building something sacred. You're constructing a life that echoes. And the echo of your life is louder than you think. People are watching you even when you don't know it. Someone is drawing strength from your resilience. Someone is learning how to stand because you refuse to sit down. Your consistency is permission for others to believe again. So don't take your temporary decisions lightly. Don't dismiss the significance of today. Because what you choose now can shape what's possible tomorrow. You're not just making moves. You're making history. And when you live like that with eternity in mind, you stop wasting time and start walking in purpose. You stop asking how long it will take and start asking who it will help. Because in the end, the greatest lives are not the ones who did the most in the moment, but the ones who made every moment matter. Let me know when you're ready for Keynote 6. We're almost at the finish line. Absolutely. Here is the expanded version of the 6th keynote. This life is accountable, not resettable, written with depth, urgency, and flow in approximately 600 words and no subheadings. There's one truth. There's one truth that most people try to how deeply it could. Your life is accountable. You don't get to hit a reset button and start fresh like it never happened. You don't get to wipe the slate clean and pretend choices weren't made, time wasn't wasted, or purpose wasn't avoided. In a game, when you mess up, you can restart the level. In real life, that moment is gone. What's done is done. In one day, every word, every action, every decision will be weighed. That may sound heavy, but it's not meant to burden you. It's meant to awaken you. Because accountability isn't about punishment, it's about purpose. It means your life matters too much to be ignored. You were given this life as a trust. Every breath, every opportunity, every relationship, every talent, it was placed in your hands with the expectation that you would do something meaningful with it. You are not the owner of your life. You are the steward of it. That means there will come a day where you give an account, not just for the sins you committed, but for the purpose you neglected. Not just for the harm you caused, but for the good you refused to do. And that truth should light a fire in your soul. Not to make you afraid, but to make you intentional. Accountability means you live with vision. You live with discipline. You live with awareness that your time is not limitless, your impact is not optional, and your calling is not casual. You stop living like life is a game. Then you start living like life is a gift. And gifts must be respected. They must be managed. They must be used well. When you understand this, you can no longer waste your days scrolling through distractions, numbing yourself with entertainment, or settling for shallow living. You begin to feel the weight of destiny. You begin to see that your choices today are setting up your future or sabotaging it. And here's the truth many people miss. Just because you feel forgiven doesn't mean you're no longer accountable. Grace is not a free pass to live recklessly. Grace is the empowerment to live responsibly. Doesn't cancel your calling, it fuels it. Yes, you can be forgiven for your failures. You can be forgiven for your failures. But you still have to face the reality of what could have been if you had been faithful. God will forgive your disobedience. But what about the lives that were never touched because you stayed silent? What about the doors that never opened because you were afraid to knock? That's the kind of accountability no one talks about, but we all need to hear it. This is why every single moment counts. Every relationship you build, every gift you develop, every boundary you set. Every time you say yes when it's hard or no when it's tempting, you are choosing to be accountable to something greater than your feelings. And that is where purpose starts to grow. You only get one life. You don't get to rewind it. You don't get to rewind it. You don't get to respawn. You don't get to opt out of the consequences of wasted time or misused influence. And that reality is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. Because when you understand that life is accountable, you stop waiting to be perfect before you begin. You stop gambling with grace. And stop gambling with grace. You start showing up differently, with urgency, with reverence, with passion, and with responsibility. So live like it counts, because it does. Speak like it matters, since it does. Feel like someone is depending on it, because your life is not resettable. But if you live it right, it doesn't need to be. It will echo in eternity. That wraps up all 6 keynotes, ready for me to help stitch them together into a full speech, video script, or something else powerful.